Is it going to be hard clear coat or soft clear coat? How do you tell? And how are we going to deal with this? This is a 2018 Mercedes S63 AMG. This is in for our 5-year ceramic coating service, which does include a paint enhancement, which is basically a one-step trying to reduce defects by 50% or more. But let's look at the paint and let's see if we can make an improvement. So here's what the paint looks like after our wash and decon. Here's what the paint looks like now. But after our paint enhancement, huge improvement. Now, are we going for 100%? No, of course not. Paint enhancement, not correction, but this is an awesome improvement. Now, the paint doesn't seem to be too hard. How do you tell if a paint is soft or hard? You'll know when you start polishing it if it's hard or soft. Do whatever combo that you're going to start with. Since we're doing a paint enhancement like this, I'm choosing the yellow Rupes pad because that's kind of middle of the road, medium aggressiveness, and we're using the NSP 45, which is their finest polish. That's their primer polish. So we start with that combo and then see what the paint looks like. Now the paint looks like this. Awesome. Looks really, really nice. Now, there's metallic flake in here, so that's what's kind of, attracting your eye is that pearl. Beautiful pearl. Now, we still have little defects in there, but we're not worried about that. We're going for the overall effect, and I think we've achieved that. Now, what if this was hard paint? I think we're kind of fortunate here because the paint is pretty soft and easy to deal with, easy to work with. We don't have to use anything more aggressive. But if it was harder paint, well, maybe we would switch our pad, or maybe we would simply use a more aggressive compound. The NSP polishes have 3 grades, so 45, 95 is their medium, and then 150 is their compound, basically. In some cases, when we need to use, something with more aggression to remove scratches, the 150 does really good. And we'll just put 1 drop or 2 drops of 150 on the yellow pad, the same pad that we're working with, and just use that to, compound an isolated area, blow out the pad, and then put more NSP 45 and continue working. There still might be a little bit of 150 residue in there, but it's okay. It's not a big deal to kind of switch up products like that and maybe put a drop or 2 on the same pad. It's not going to harm anything. It's not like it's going to cause marring all over the car because you're using a compound. It really depends on the product, because that product, 150, breaks down really, really fine and becomes like a finishing polish after a few passes. Yeah, the products like that can make a real difference in making things much, much easier to work with. That's why we love these NSP primers, especially for ceramic coating jobs and on black paint like this. So let's continue working. It's coming out really, really nice. Let's see what the sides of this vehicle look like. Now you see that I'm not cross-hatching at all. Why? Because you don't need to. So cross-hatching, which just means going in the opposite direction when you're doing a polishing pass, is something that a lot of beginners learn. And once you kind of learn how the paint reacts, how the polisher works, and how the combo of your pad and product are working, and you see the results, then that's really what the most important part is. Not really the pattern of your polishing. So some people still crosshatch, and that's fine. That's just kind of, their system of how they do things. But it's certainly not something that if you don't do it, it's going to show in your results. It's really not. Cross-hatching is just to get 100% coverage, but you can get 100% coverage by going in the same direction a few times and just overlapping. That's why you may see us not really cross-hatch. We just go in one direction and that's it. When you do see me cross-hatch, you know why I'm doing it? It's to break up the monotony. Let me explain what I mean. So what I mean by break up the monotony is, you know, when you're polishing a vehicle for a long time, it does start to get a little monotonous. So going in a different direction, cross-hatching, for me, this is just my own personal feelings on it, is it breaks up the monotony. So it's not that I'm trying to get full coverage or trying to make sure that everything is polished evenly. Once I do a couple of passes, it's all even. Like, I'm not worried about that at all. Maybe for beginner detailers who are learning how to polish, maybe that's a concern, but you'll learn that it's not about that at all. It's just about making sure that you get every square inch. Once you develop your own way of polishing, then you'll be able to determine that, and you'll know if you're getting full coverage or not. But let me show you the before and afters, because this is turning out really, really nice. So we're making our way and it's looking incredible, but check this out. We haven't polished this yet. The rear bumper, I think, was repainted. Sometimes they come like this from factory too. The metallic will look a little bit different, but I think this is too much of a difference. And the front bumper is even worse. That's a huge difference. So the front bumper was definitely painted, but that really only shows up with bright, bright lights like this. So outside in the sun, you really don't even see this that much unless you're looking for it. So these are just some signs of, you know, repainting, things to take note of when you're either buying a car or detailing a car.